Okay, I think last time we started something on greed and its effects. And the topic that we did, the first one was on the greed of Ahab or Naboth's vineyard. And this one, we are going to look at the healing of Naaman and Gehazi's leprosy. That is 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 1 to 27. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 1 to 27. So I'm reading the passage on it. And that is Naaman, a commander of the army of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and in high favor, because by him the Lord had given victory to Syria. He was a mighty man of valor, but he was a leper. Now the Syrians on one of their raids had carried off a little maid from the land of Israel, and she waited on Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, "Would that my Lord were with the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him of his leprosy." So Naaman went in and told his Lord, "Thus and so spoke the maiden from the land of Israel." And the king of Syria said, "Go now, and I will send a letter to the king of Israel." So he went, taking with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 festal garments. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, which read, "When this letter reaches you, know that I have sent to you Naaman my servant, that you may cure him of his leprosy." And when the king of Israel read the letter, he rent his clothes and said, "Am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man sends word to me to cure a man of his leprosy? Only consider and see how he is seeking a quarrel with me." But when Elisha the man of God heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, he sent to the king, saying, "Why have you rent your cloak? Let him come now to me, that he may know that there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman came with his horses and chariots, and halted at the door of Elisha's house. When Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, "Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored, and you shall be clean." But Naaman was angry and went away, saying, "Behold, I thought that he would surely come out to me, and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, and wave his hand over the place and cure the leper. Are not Abner and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean?" So he turned and went away in rage. But his servants came near and said to him, "My father, if the prophet had commanded you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much rather than when he says to you, 'Wash and be clean'?" So he went down and dipped 7 times in the Jordan, according to the word of the man of God, and his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. Then he returned to the man of God and all his company, and he came and stood before him, and he said, "Behold, I now know there is no God in all the earth but in Israel. So accept now a present from my servant, from your servant." But he said, "As the Lord lives, whom I serve, I will receive none." And he urged him to take it, but he refused. Then Naaman said, If not, I pray you, let there be given to you, your servant, 2 mules of burden of earth. For henceforth your servant will not offer burnt offerings or sacrifice to any god but the Lord. In this matter, may the Lord pardon your servant when my master goes into the house of Rimmon to worship there. Leaning on my arm, and I bow myself in the house of Rimmon. And I bow myself in the house of Rimmon. The Lord pardon your servant in this matter." He said this to him, "Go in peace." But when Naaman had gone from him a short distance, Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, "See, my servant has spared this man, the Syrian, in not accepting from his hand what he brought. As the Lord lives, I will run after him and get something from him." So Gehazi followed Naaman. And when Naaman saw someone running after him, he alighted from the chariot to meet him, and he said, "Is all well?" And he said, all is well. My master has sent me to say, they have just now come to me from the hill country of Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Pray, give me a talent of silver and 2 festal garments. And Naaman said, be pleased to accept 2 talents. And he urged him and tied up the 2 talents of silver in 2 bags with 2 festal garments and laid them upon 2 of the servants, and they carried them before Gehazi. And when he came to the hill, he took them from their hand and put them in the house, and he sent the men away, and he departed. He went in and stood before his master, and Elijah said to him, where have you been, Gehazi? He said, your servant went nowhere. But he said to him, did I not go with you in spirit when the man turned from his chariot to meet you? Was it a time to accept money and garments, olive orchards and vineyards, sheep and oxen, men servant and maid servant? Therefore the leprosy of Naaman shall cleave to you and to your descendants forever. So he went out from his presence, a leopard as white as snow. So with this story, we are to explain what greed is. Then we should be able to also narrate the story of Naaman and Gehazi and list 4 moral lessons that can be learned from the story. So greed is a strong and selfish desire for wealth. So Naaman, we are being told, was the commander of the Syrian army, and he was a leper. And we are being told that in one of their raids, he brought him a girl who became a maid in his house. And it was this girl who told Naaman's wife that there is a prophet in Israel who could heal Naaman. So Naaman went to the king of Syria and took a letter from him so that it would be given to the king of Israel. So when the king of Israel read the letter, we are being told that he rent his clothes. And when someone rents his clothes, it means that he tore his clothes and said that this king of Syria wants to fight with him. That's why he has sent his army commander that he should be healed. So we are being told that by then Elijah, who was a prophet in Israel, heard the news, and he asked them to bring Naaman to him. So Naaman went to Elisha's house, expecting Elisha to touch him. We have been told that Elisha told Naaman to go and wash himself in the river Jordan for 7 times. Then Naaman became angry and said that there were better rivers in Damascus, like Abna and Pharpar. And so he decided to go back to Damascus and refused the instructions of Elisha. So Naaman listened to the advice of his servant. One of his servants told him that if he had been asked to do something which is greater than that, wouldn't he have done? It was then that he listened to the advice and went and washed in the Jordan and was completely healed, and his flesh became like that of a child. So when Naaman was healed, he went back to Elisha and confessed that there was no God in all the earth except in Israel. So Naaman had wanted to offer some gift to Elisha, but Elisha refused, and it was then that Naaman then asked for the soil from Israel to Damascus. We are being told that Gehazi, Elisha's servant, then seeing that his master didn't collect those gifts, decided to pursue Naaman after he had gone a short distance to request for the items which his master rejected. Naaman gave Gehazi twice what he requested and told his servant to help him carry the items home. We are being told that Elisha got to know what his servant did, and he questioned him. That is, he questioned Gehazi. However, Gehazi denied, and Elisha told him that God had revealed everything to him in spirit and rebuked Gehazi, cursing him with leprosy. Okay. Instantly, we are being told that Gehazi became a leopard as a result of greed. As a result of greed. What are some of the moral lessons that can be learned from this passage? Some of the moral lessons are that nothing can be hidden from God. That is 1. 2. God's gift of healing is free. 3, we should be satisfied with whatever we have. Then 4, greed leads to distraction. Then 5, greed breeds mistrust and disharmony. The last one is that greed may affect those around us and our nation. So as individuals, we are not supposed to be greedy or selfish in our dealings, so that we will not be what? Destroyed by God or others. That's our lesson for today on greed and its effects.